Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a get to know me Q&A. I asked over on my Instagram, which is jadezarareads, for some questions. A lot of them are about coaching, to be fair. I think there might be like 2 or 3 that are actually about me, but again, that's completely fine. So let's just get into it. Make sure you've got your autumn mugs. I've got a cup of tea. So the first question is, what has been your most rewarding moment being an online coach? And for me, I have 2, I'd say, instances. I think the first one would be doing the photo shoots for clients, and especially the last one that we did, a lot of the girls that did it didn't ever think it would be something that they could do, and standing there on the day and being like, or just even client events in general, pretty muddy, like, and being like, I brought these girls together that didn't even know each other, and they're doing things that they didn't even think could be possible. Even when we go on a walk with clients, like, for so many clients, that is a big thing, having to socialise with people they've never met before, and it's out the comfort zone, and it just makes me so proud. And also as well, like, seeing clients' confidence, this is probably going into the second part of the most rewarding part, is actually seeing clients' confidence increasing. So I hope Becca doesn't mind me sharing this, but one of my clients, Becca, she was with me for 2 years, and when she first started, the thought of a photo shoot was like, no, not doing it. Literally 6 months before I put in, like, I asked about the sort of second photo shoot, she was like, no, that's not for me, couldn't think of anything worse. And then 6 months later she messaged me, she was like, yeah, I want to do it. And again, that just shows how much her confidence grew within that time, her like stepping into herself grew. And for me, that's so much more rewarding than, obviously, yeah, it's great when clients lose weight, but for me, it's those things outside of it, where she could come on a client walk and she was so chatty, and like, you know, nothing's off limits for Becca. And same with other clients, Taylor, who's run the half marathon, Chloe, who asked this question, who's like going into the gym and not caring what anyone thinks about her. And like, yeah, these clients are losing weight, but it's those things that have the biggest impact on their life outside of the gym, outside of fitness, which I genuinely find the most rewarding. And I could carry on listing so many other clients and their achievements, because for me, yeah, just having that impact outside of fat loss and in their life, yeah, I just love it. I just fucking love it. So the next question is, if you had to choose one thing, what's your favourite part of coaching? And I'd say that probably links to that, is seeing the outside. If I had to say an aspect of it in particular, obviously I love weekly check-ins, and with the weekly check-ins, like, or weekly reflections, like, it's not great because clients have these fucking fantastic wins every week. Obviously, yes, I encourage them to think about the wins, but it's great because that's when I get to help people. I actually love calls and events over check-ins, because on a call you can really have that conversation with people, you can really dig into things. You can still do the same with messages and check-ins, but I'd probably say the calls and then the events, because as I said in the previous question, having that realisation, like, I brought all these people together and they've been able to achieve something absolutely incredible, is such an amazing feeling, and I just love it. Next question is, what's your favourite memory of Jade Zara training? So obviously, if you didn't know, I rebranded last year to Thrive and Transform. So I don't know if this question is about Jade Zara training or about my coaching as a whole. I'd probably say from Jade Zara training, oh my god, there's so many memories. I was going to say there was like in-person PT, which Beth, who asked this question, obviously was my first client. I would probably say when we went on the Christmas meal, that was very, like, probably one of my favourite memories. And yeah, I'd probably say that from Jade Zara training alone. And then if I was to talk about the whole coaching career, I would probably say either the last photo shoot or Pretty Muddy that's just been. I'm gonna come back to some of these questions about coaching, because I'm aware that, like, some of you not saying don't care about coaching, but just answer a few questions about me and then I'll come back to him. So one question is, what uni did you go and what did you study? So I went to University of Leeds and I studied criminology and criminal justice, which to some of you will probably be a little bit of a shock. Because of my PT, and I know this isn't asking this question, but I remember when I finished uni, I literally, with A-level, I did law, politics and psychology, and I was like, I'm just going to do it because that's what I enjoy. Same with uni, I loved crime, and I loved, like when I was younger, I used to watch like loads of crime things with my nan and things like that, and I think if I wasn't like the scariest, the like most overthinking bitch there is, I probably would have wanted to be a detective. However, I overthink everything too much and I don't think I could do that line of work, and hats off to people that do. And I remember finishing uni and being like, what the fuck do I do with my life right now? Like I had no plan after that degree, and I'm so glad I got it. I know a lot of people think, oh, like, do you feel like you wasted your time? I learned so much about myself at uni, learned so much about living, like, and being able, like, having to cook for myself. And also I always have that degree. I don't think I ever will use it, but I do always have it there. So yeah, that's that. Another question is, how would you spend a perfect day? I really love that. I think I'd get up, I wouldn't have an alarm, I would get up, I would have a coffee on the couch in like a nice set of pyjamas, my new croissant dressing gown, and I would either read my book or I'd watch a bit of YouTube. I would then have a chocolate croissant alongside my coffee. That would just be absolute chef's kiss. Then I would probably sit there for a bit and I would go and get ready for the day, make sure I put on a nice outfit that made me feel good, and then I would go shopping, like Home Bargains, B&M, TK Maxx, Dunelm, all the home shops. I would actually go and devour those because I actually have a problem when it comes to things like mugs, and I have to restrain myself. And then, I don't know, that's just a morning, isn't it? What do I do for the rest of the day? I definitely go out for tea at some point. And in terms of tea, I love an Italian. My favourite Italian is Verona and Newton, or Miller and Carter, or something along those lines. And then if I was being like idealistic, I would have a bath when I got home, which we don't have a bath in the flat, which really hurts my soul. And yeah, I'd have a bath, and then I'd probably read my book again, or again watch some YouTube. I think that would be my perfect day. I'm not a... That sounds really boring, doesn't it? But to me, if you said to me, we're doing all that, I'd be like, yes, let's go. Like, that's something I would do on my birthday. So yeah, that would be my perfect day. So favourite hobbies? Reading, 110%, even though I'm in a book slump at the moment. Is yoga a hobby? Because yeah, I'd say yoga's a hobby. So yoga. What else do I like doing? Yapping, can that be a hobby? I would say reading, yoga. Those are probably my only hobbies. If I'm completely honest, I feel like reading takes up so much of your time anyway. I don't actually think I have room for any others. There's another question that said, who do you live with? I live with my amazing boyfriend, Ethan. Would you like to see a picture? You should all know who Ethan is by now, but my lovely boyfriend. I don't know if you can see. You'll hate me for showing this picture, but I absolutely love it. And yes, it is on my desk that I can look at every day. One question is, what workouts do you do? So kind of depends. At the moment, I am loving yoga. So currently, like if we take this week for example, I'm doing 2 yoga, 1 run, 1 weight training session, but I may sort of move to 2 weights, 1 yoga and 1 run when I get back off holiday. We'll just kind of see, but a mixture between Pilates, yoga, weight training and running. I would say I don't have a specific workout split at the moment anyway. What made you want to become a coach? So I was right, okay, so there's 2 sides to this. I wouldn't say I was the laziest bitch ever. I loved PE at school. Yes, I was one of those people. That was actually the only GCSE that I got an A star in, and I loved netball, but I didn't like athletics, things like that. There was only certain things that I did actually like. Apart from that though, I obviously if you've like heard my story of getting into the fitness journey, and you're probably thinking, I just want to know why you've become a coach, but this is relevant. So I started losing weight when I was 14 in year 9, and I was never really taught how to lose weight properly and in a healthy way. And I was doing 1,200 calorie diets. I got really to a really low weight. I think I was like 7 stone at one point, and I still thought I was fat. Massively had body dysmorphia, and then that turned into binge eating, and I struggled with binge eating for probably around 8-9 years. And it wasn't until that I actually became a PT myself that I obviously decided that I wanted to get help for that. But in terms of what actually made me want to become a PT was when I was younger, I hated the gym. I would literally just go and do cardio. I would probably have a membership for like a week and then never go again, other than the time where I was like in year 9 and I was going quite a lot. One day my sister Zoe actually showed me weight training and I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then just before lockdown, was it? I think, or maybe after lockdown, I got a coach, and I was like, because I wanted to know more, like I was that person that would be on YouTube like looking at form videos, like how do I do this properly, like I want to do it properly, but I was like, actually I'm going to get a coach, I want to know what I'm doing. And that was probably the turning point for me, where I remember I just finished uni, I just kind of got my qualification, I was working full time at Mackie's, and I was like, what the fuck do I want to do with my life, as I was saying before. And I was like, do you know what, I would love to show people that if I can do it as somebody that hated the gym, hated exercise, genuinely anyone can do it. And that's why my ethos is you can do anything that you want to do, because I remember the only thing stopping me from doing my PT and becoming a PT was worrying that people wouldn't want to work with me. Now, if I'd have listened to that, I would not be here right now. And I was like, no, do you know what, I'm going to go for it. And if nobody works with me, at least I've got my qualification and I tried to do it. And that's what I want to show women, is that you have to at least try. You can do it. Like, you just need to have that belief in yourself that you can do it. And that's what made me want to become a coach. I was like, I want to help women, I want to show them their true potential. If I can do it as somebody that hated everything, you can do it as well. How has your ethos changed over time? So me and Beth were actually talking about it. Beth asked a question, but me and Beth were actually talking about this on a podcast episode. If you've not listened to my podcast, it's called Thrive Unfiltered. The link's in my bio on Instagram. But we were talking about how it's changed. So when I first started coaching, obviously, as I was saying before, I was a PT on the gym floor actually. So I finished my PT qualification, and the whole time I was doing that PT qualification, I was like, just going to do it so that I get it. And there was no intention of actually going PT in a gym. And again, I was like, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to apply for a job. So obviously I was working in a gym at the time, and my main goal was to get women into the weights area. I obviously, yes, wanted to help women lose weight, but my main goal was to get women into weights, or just in general into exercise and have a healthier lifestyle. However, I kind of realised that there was so much more that couldn't be addressed in a PT session, and obviously that's why I went into coaching. So just in terms of the ethos changing, when I first started, it was just about getting women into fitness, and now it's so much more than that. Like, yes, I help women lose weight, but I also help women make sure that they are building sustainable habits, that they are looking after themselves in the process, that their relationship with themselves and their body image is good, they are resting when they need to, and they're really looking after themselves. They've got good morning routines, they're fueling their body properly, and there's just so much more than just like weight loss. And I feel like as well, even when I first went into coaching, I was more focused on weight loss, and now it's more about building that lifestyle that makes you feel just absolutely 10 out of 10. And also as well, building a community of women that want to do things outside the comfort zone, want other people to do it with as well. That is the main ethos, I would say. I've not even had a sip of this. One question is, what's your dream life? I feel like that's such a hard question. I think for me, I couldn't give specifics. I've always my whole life said, I just want to be happy. And I think for me, stability is a big thing. Not having to worry about money or anything in general would be my dream life. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I would love to have kids, I would love to get married, you know, I'd love to be able to go on holidays and, you know, continue to grow the business and help as many people as I possibly can. I don't think I could give any specifics like, oh, I drive this car or I live in this house or anything like that. I'd just like to live a life that is full of happiness and health. And I know that sounds like a bit surface level, but that is true. Happiness has always been important to me, and having like good family, good friends. Who is your inspiration and why? I feel like the women in my family, my mum, my nan and my sister, do inspire me a lot. They've all kind of had that showing of like, not I don't need a man to get by, but they've all been really like independent and just really showed me that you don't need anyone to do things. I think my sister inspires me a lot because obviously she is 10 years older than me, but she moved countries. She's got this fucking amazing job. She's actually fantastic at a job. She has all these ideas, and that inspires me to want to be better, I suppose, and do something with my life, I guess. I've never wanted to just get by. I've always wanted to actually do something with my life. Best and worst parts of your job. As I said before, the best parts are seeing women do things that they didn't even think were possible. The worst part, I think being a business owner in general is hard, especially at the start. I was very emotional about everything. Things that didn't go right, took a lot of things to heart. Yeah, I think being a business owner and being on your own is probably, like, it is hard, but there are also so many other benefits to being a business owner as well. So I wouldn't say being a business owner is the worst part. I'd just say some aspects of being a business owner can sometimes dampen the job, but I do love the job. I love helping people. And another person did ask, like, what's your future plans for coaching? And my future plan is to continue growing. I want to do more events. I want to have a bigger community. I don't want to do definites, because I don't, like, as in for this next part, because I just want to bring more and add more to the service that can really help clients get the best results possible. So I'm not going to go into specifics because, yeah, I'm not going to go into specifics, but that would be the main goal for me, is more events, more community, continuing to help clients, you know, with the results, potentially even more qualifications for me, to enhance my coaching ability as well. I'm always looking to enhance any areas where I think I need, well, I'm always improving. Fitness is always expanding, new studies and all that jazz is coming out. So yeah, there's always room to improve and change, but I would probably say that. Another question was, what do you offer to clients? Is it just gym-based plans? So obviously I don't know, I feel it's so hard to answer this question, but I did a podcast episode on a client journey, and I could literally yap on about this all day. But online coaching is more than just a gym plan or a Zoom call doing a workout. Still have family members that think that's what I do for my job, and it's hard to explain that is like scratching the surface. And I'd never do Zoom gym sessions either. But anyway, I'm getting on a rant. When clients come to me, it depends what the goal is. If the goal is to lose weight, we assess, okay, what is realistic for you? Do you want to go to the gym? What exercise do you enjoy? What are your eating habits like? Do you know how to structure meals not properly, but to get the most out of it? It might be, do you know how to include your favourite foods within your diet? That's sort of the first stage of coaching, is looking at like, okay, where we are, let's go into this trial stage, let's build this foundation of habits and just make sure that you know how to feel your body. We've got a little bit of a routine in terms of movement, whether that's just a step goal, whether that is home workouts, and we're looking at that optimal sort of, okay, well, I'm going to opt for home workouts. What's a realistic number of workouts? So what I'm basically trying to say is that we help clients, yes, if they want to do the gym or the home or whatever it is, but we also help them build routines and habits that, yes, are going to result in weight loss, which is what we look at in stage 2 of coaching, but are also going to contribute to making them feel better. So all clients are probably sick of me saying this now, but in check-ins I will constantly say, you know, absolutely amazing results this week. What was the benefit of you getting your steps in this week beyond you just losing weight? Because again, when we get to the end of the dieting phase, we want to make sure that we can still keep up those habits to some extent, which is when we'll go into the transition stage and obviously like reverse diet clients and go to maintenance and remove tracking and all that jazz, is that they can keep those habits up and they know the benefit of them. Because especially when motivation is low and you don't want to do it, it's like me this morning, I was like, I don't want to go to yoga, and I was like, no, I'm going to feel so much better afterwards, it's going to set me up for my day, I need to go, and I went. So yeah, bit of a tangent there, but it's so much more than gym plans. It's habits, it's life, it's tools. Like for instance, had a client who is currently on her summer holidays, and I know her and I know she won't rest, and I know she'll just go full pellet everything. I was like, right, we're going to explore different types of rest. So I sent her our ebook on that, and it has like some basically explaining what the 7 different types of rest were, and then it asked some questions about rest, and she sent those to me, and then we incorporated that into her daily habits. Obviously we do have calls with clients as well. We did calls pre-summer with clients individually to set goals for summer. We did calls mid-summer to see how they were getting on, and currently we're just doing post-summer calls to see how summer went, what went well, what didn't, what we want to take into the rest of the year, what we don't want to, and basically how we want to finish this year as well. So much more. Another client as well, sorry, I actually am, it's like I have a child and I'm that mum that just can't stop talking about them, but it is my life at the end of the day. But I was going to say, a lot of things that we do with clients as well is around comfort zones. And one client in particular, when she started with me, she was scared to drive solo to anywhere and go solo anywhere, and she actually booked a trip to New York solo, and she sent me a message the other day and was like, I could not have done this without you. Like, I am solo in New York and I was scared to even just leave the house like 5 months ago. And like, how fucking insane is that? Like, we helped to do that by setting little targets each week that pushed her out of her comfort zone, and she went solo to New York. Like, that's fucking insane. And again, just another rewarding moment of the whole coaching process. So yeah, I'm going to stop being that mum now that just shouts about the little baby, because Forever Transform is my baby. And I'm going to let you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any more questions, please pop them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. We all love a subscribe. And make sure to tune in for the next video, which is going to be a week in my life.